Preparing to stream. Okay, here we go. We're live.
Preparing to stream.
All right, we are live. Let me cut.
Okay.
I've got the mute on. Okay. All right. Okay, here we go.
Okay, here we go. We're live.
Oh.
Okay,
wait, I've got two of these things on.
I know, I've got two of everything open as well.
I'm like, what? What am I doing? Okay, hold on. Let's see. Okay, here we go. I have
to close them all.
All right. Let's see. Okay. I did make an announcement on Facebook. Hopefully some people start jumping in. Truth Seeker. Hi, Truth Seeker. How are you? Thanks for joining us.
Hi, it's Maria, I think her name. Although I know people don't like the name, so I found out her name. Hi, Maria. Thank you for being here with us.
Yeah, so we're going to have a really interesting show tonight.
Interesting title.
Yeah, it's hopefully lots of people join us tonight.
I know Heidi and Jenny, I think they're still live. They'll probably be finishing soon. So,
hi, Michelle. Haven't seen you in a while. How are you doing?
Hi, Michelle. It's Maria. I remembered. I just wasn't never sure. Like, some people don't like the real name being mentioned, but then she did write in the chat, so I guess. Yeah, some people don't like the real names put out there, do they?
Yeah, so you guys, so hi everybody. I know everybody's just kind of starting to join in, and we're going to be getting some stragglers coming on pretty soon. So tonight, I kind of titled this as "Don't be an asshole and get over your shit," because so I did this live stream on Facebook this afternoon, and I was kind of ranting about some of the stuff that's going on in the world, and I started talking to Trisha, and we were having a conversation, and she's like, "Let's do a show on this," you know. And as I was I ended up going back and watching the replay, and as I'm doing this, I said, "What do you think we should title this?" And she said, "Get over your shit." And and so I was like, this is good. You know, when I was watching it, and I was kind of watching the show back again, because sometimes I'll go back and rewatch what I've done. And I remember saying something about like, stop being an asshole. And I thought, oh yeah, you know, let's do that. You know, let's do that. So I thought that would be kind of funny. And
can I just say before we get, this is not,
hi, Liz, by the way.
This is not aimed at anybody, because this is actually based on personal experiences that we've gone through that nobody knows. They're, you know, not even in this country or in Britain. This is not aimed at anybody, just a disclaimer before. I feel I always have to put a disclaimer out. This is not aimed at anybody in particular. This is about just partly events that have happened to us both this week and other weeks. And I'm sure a lot of you are going through things like this.
Yeah, so I'm trying to remember. It's Camille Love or something like that on Facebook. I forget what her name is on YouTube, but she said she was going to join. Anyway, she said she was like basically saying, yeah, you know, she commented and said that, you know, she just had something happen that this person that she thought, you know, was trustworthy or whatever, and like went wackadoodle on them. I mean, I'm seeing it too. I mean, the people are altering. It's like they're like metamorphosizing into crazy people. Like, I mean, it's crazy when you sit here and you're watching it. You know, it's like, holy cow, what just happened? Like,
yeah, like what happened to me the other week. I mean, well, say to me, I was.
Hey, Shannon.
Hi, Shannon. Hi, everybody.
Yeah,
I was witness to something, and I ended up being sick for a week when I'd actually just gone to have a nice time and say farewell to somebody who was going back to another country because they'd finished for the summer here. Holy cow.
That's basically
I ended up being sick for the week. That's why you've not seen me much on YouTube, because I literally could hardly speak.
So one of the things that I've noticed is that you're highly empathic, but do you remember like the show that I did once before when I was talking about how my sister would send energy to me and I would feel it like in my chest or my heart, or, we were actually doing a whole show on talking about energy and stuff like that once, we're having this whole conversation about it. And I've noticed that you're like that too. Like when you said that your stomach, all of a sudden you start thinking about me and your stomach started turning. And the next thing you know, I'm on Facebook ranting about this, like
literally. I was
totally.
I was thinking about you in the show and what we're going to do. And I was like, oh God, why do I feel my solar plexus felt a little bit sick, like this weight on my shoulders. I was like, oh boy, I've just been cleared from whatever. When Nina, the show I did earlier, she did a bit of a clearing afterwards in private. I thought, what is going on? And then obviously I saw your live, went on, I was like, oh, here we go. Like, there's nothing wrong with Michelle. It's stuff that's happened to her. And I'm obviously picking up on that.
And stuff that's happened to people I care about.
And people, yeah.
I mean, and these are people that you guys don't know, So we're not naming names here.
Yeah.
These are like literally people that don't go on YouTube, they are, Facebook and stuff like that. These are people that I know and I care about. And I'm watching these bombs blow up and I'm going, holy cow. Like, a perfect example is like the story I was telling you about my husband. He's like in this job, and one minute they're saying, we're going to nominate you for Employee of the Year. And next thing you know, they stop giving him work and he's on the shit list, and it's like, it's like the whole company's bipolar, and
that's how it's feeling. That's a really good word. I know it gets thrown around a lot, bipolar. Things I've been seeing, the person at 1 minute can be sweet, lovely, not a problem. Next minute, like this literal rabid animal.
It's like the Exorcist coming out and everybody, it's like everybody's becoming demon possessed, it's like everybody's turning into zombies. It's like a movie, I
thought that the other day. I was lying in bed when I was poorly, and they were playing karaoke next door, and it was really bad karaoke. And I was laying there and I was thinking, I feel like I'm in a zombie apocalypse and everybody's dead and there's just this like rubbish karaoke going on. I was like, what is going on? That's exactly how I felt.
Well, so before we get too far into this, I got to tell you this crazy dream that I had. Okay. And perhaps it has something to do with this, but I thought it was really bizarre. But okay, so are you familiar with Joel Osteen?
Yeah.
You've heard of him? Okay. So he's for you guys who don't know, he's a real popular evangelist, mega church preacher, a non-denominational preacher in Houston, Texas. And so anyways, so I had this dream and I was at his church, there's this, well, not at his church, but a lot of these mega churches have these big areas outside where you can sit, and there's it's all cemented areas to sit and stuff, kind of like a big area, kind of like a park or something, and then you go into the church. And so anyways, I was out there and I walked into the big, auditorium area, and he wasn't there. And everybody was just carrying on like it was a normal day. And he wasn't there. And I kept on saying, where's Joel? Where's Joel? Where's Joel? And nobody seemed to care. They were just sort of locked in this matrix existence. They were didn't really, they just la la la, I'm just here. I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. And I'm sitting here going, does anybody care what Joel is? He's gone. He's gone. He's gone. Where did he go? And this guy, he was kind of he acted like he was in charge, and he was on the edge, and he was wearing a suit, and he had a little thing in his ear, how those people that are in charge walking around, they get Anyway, so he had this thing in his ear, and he goes, you need to back off. He goes, and you need to shut your fucking mouth.
Ooh, was that in your dream?
Yeah, he said that in my dream. And I was like, okay. And he escorted me out. Like he said, this is none of your fucking business. Shut the fuck up.
Wow.
Like those were the words. And sorry about the language here, but that's what he said. And so I was like, oh my God, you know, so I exited out and I went out into this like whole open area and I went to go sit down. And there was this lady that was an older woman that was probably like in her 70s or 80s. And she was sitting there and she was a really heavy set lady. And she was sitting on like one of these little areas, and I went and sat down by her. And I turned around and I looked at her and I said, oh my God, it's you. And I called her out by name, which honestly, I can't remember the name. And I said, I can't believe you're here. You're here. And I was so excited. And I knew that she was like a guide or an angel or a relative or something like that. Like I knew that she was something like that. Like in the dream, I recognized that she wasn't a living being.
Right.
Okay. And I was like, oh my God, I haven't seen you in so long. I'm so excited. I'm so happy. And I leaned on her and I kind of put my arm inside of her arm, laid my head on her shoulder. And I said, you wouldn't believe what just happened to me. And she's, you know, kind of coddling me. And I said, and I told her what that guy said. And she's like, come on, I have to show you something. And I said, okay. And so we're walking down this foyer area. And as we're walking, I was like, why did he talk to me like that? Why did he say that? Why do they not care where he's at? What's happened to him? And she goes, I just don't think he likes therapists. I know, it's a weird comment. Like, I don't think he likes therapists. And I was like, okay. So next thing I know, she kind of takes me into this whole like other dimension. And she starts showing me all these different levels of ascension.
Right.
Okay. And she showed me these different worlds like that we're going to ascend to, but not everybody's going to ascend. Like all the stuff that you hear about ascension, it's like, we're going to ascend to the sixth dimension and that's it. You know, it's like one place. But the way she was saying it was that there was oh geez, let me see if I can say this right. I think she said there was 8. It was either 8 or 12. There was 8 of something and 12 of something else. And she said, but she only showed me 4. So she showed me one that was like, where there's all this really great technology and everybody was like really into all of that stuff. And it was like high levels of evolution. And there was another one where it was just like all love and people were kind and caring. And I was like, I want to go to that one. I don't really care about the technology. I want to go to that one. And then she showed me another one where it was like people were like chaotic and it was like these different dimensions. Right. That people were going to go to. And she was saying this one's like chaotic and was like Earth. And I was like, well, that looks just like here. I think that's where I'm at right now, you know? And she's, you know, and I was like, I'm going to go to that one, you know? That's about all I can remember about the dream. I just remember her explaining it all to me and breaking it all down. And, but I don't recall everything else. So it was interesting. It was kind of bizarre. So I thought I'd share that with you before we got to this.
It's pretty, but you never found what happened to Joel.
I know. I don't know what happened to Joel, but nobody seemed to care. And the thing was, it was like they were lost in like this, like they were trapped in a video game, or they were trapped in a movie, or they were trapped in something like they just were walking around like little zombies, not caring, not aware, not awake. And maybe that was and that's why I'm bringing it up, is because I don't think it was about people just disappearing within inside of themselves. And I kind of think that, you know, everybody talks about the Matrix all the time. And I'm thinking that the Matrix is this locked in place that you're inside of yourself. And to get outside of it, you just have to be aware of what's going on. And that's what I wanted to talk about tonight, is about waking up to see what the hell is happening right now, and how you're being impacted by it, how I'm being impacted by it, how Trisha's being impacted by it, and what we can do about that. And that's kind of the bottom line there. Go ahead. I've been kind of like.
No, somebody's made a comment. Shannon says, you don't need to see or hear it, Joel, anymore. You have ascended higher. Maybe that's why you had the dream. I don't know whether you watch him.
I really don't think it was actually about Joel. I mean, you know, because everything's like metaphoric in dreams.
Yeah.
I think it's about the fact, I think it felt to me it was more about the people versus it was about him. It was, and he was just a representation of something that, you know, everybody was just, they were just going along as if he didn't exist. Like they were going along as if, like, not like as if the world should care if he's there or not. That's not what I mean. I mean, he was going along. They were like in his place. You know, it's like somebody coming to my house and hanging out and just staying there all day long and not going, hey, where's Michelle? You see what I'm saying? That's kind of what it felt like. And I don't really think it was really about him as much as it was about people and them being kind of locked within themselves and not paying attention to what's really going on. Because if you notice, the latter part of the dream was she's showing me different levels of ascension. So
problem is with a lot of people is they don't realize they've got a problem or that they're not awake until they really hit a brick wall in life. And, you know, there's going to be some people that never wake up, but, you know, what would it take? Like that girl she got arrested for breach of the peace. I mean, it's crazy.
And sometimes those things just dig people in deeper, and it's their problems that cause them to go in deeper.
It was because she was high. That was all that caused that. Was she was high. And I'm giving this an example.
Well, you know,
I've never seen anything like. I've never seen anything. I've witnessed violence, but not when it's drug related. And I was just. Well,
some drugs do that to people, you know, and you and I've had this.
I've never seen it that close, you know, like it was like this person had no.
You've never seen people like drugged out and acting all whack?
Yeah, but not such close proximity. I've never been to parties when people are on drugs. Like, I just don't mix with people that do drugs. And
well, I don't either, but I've seen them like walking down the street. And
I've seen them
acting all like homeless people, like talking to themselves. And
I've seen them out there. But what I mean is, I've never been in such close proximity where they end up on your kitchen floor getting arrested for the breach of the peace, and they're emptying all the suitcase and throwing all the belongings. I've got a video of all the belongings all over my kitchen. Like, it was something. It was like, do you get what I mean?
Yeah, I totally get it.
Throwing all that stuff out in my kitchen. Like, who does that?
But see, that's part of the whole. This is part of the whole thing that I'm talking about. These are people that are just losing their mind, and you guys, you're going to see more and more of it. Okay, I mean.
I think we are for the rest of this year, at least.
Somebody that I care about got accused of something so horrible that was not even, I don't even want to get into it. Okay. Cause it's like, I don't even know if something I can even talk about, but let's just say that.
Be careful,
yeah, because I got to be careful about that. So somebody I care about got accused of something very bad for doing something very normal that was not illegal and got pushed into a category. So it's like an example of that would be I go to my hairdresser and she's shampooing my hair and she's like doing this. And then I come back and say, I felt violated because of the way that she was stroking my hair. It's on that level.
Yeah.
Okay? And let's just say that. Okay. And it's something that the hairdresser just does. They do it with every single person. And this person was like accused of something. And and I'm just sitting here going, what the hell is going on? I mean, you just said something. I mean, this girl and the way she's acting. And then the person, for you guys who didn't watch my,
because a few days prior, she'd been sat in my front room doing my temporary tattoos, and she was so gentle. I videoed it all. She hardly, she was like really gentle and lovely. And in terms of, this was the shock for me, the contrast.
This is what I'm talking about, Trish. It's like zombies. Okay. It's like something bit them and then they're, they're crazy. And that's, they talk about how like movies portray reality and what's going to come. And it's almost like I'm kind of wondering if all these zombie movies aren't just a metaphor for what's happening or what's coming. you know what I'm saying?
Where we live, I mean, it used to be such a, not 100% drug free, but it was pretty clean town. Now you see them, all these people on spice or whatever it is, just monged out on benches in the town. Like, you never used to see anything like that.
What is spice?
Some sort of new drug or something called spice, and they're just doing crazy things. But in the daytime, just these people are lost. They're gone, you know. They look like zombies, quite frankly.
Well, so that's okay. So that's kind of like what I'm saying is like these people. So the first signs to me, okay, that I've seen that's happened here is that people have like checking out. Like they're just letting their subconscious mind like run. And I think what's happening here, and I'm going to get all woo-woo here, but with the energy shifts, I think that negative energies are entering into these people because they're sort of becoming soulless, you know, because they let their spirit so broken and so wounded that it just leaves, that it's like an open invitation for something to enter into with all this negative energy that we're sort of floating into. And
well, when you do drugs, you're opening yourself up anyway. Alcohol.
It's like they become zombies. So like they start off like dead and like out of it, just going through life. You know, you wake up, you drink your coffee, you go to work, you do this, you come home, you go to bed. You know, it's like there's no passion, there's no excitement, there's no thrill, there's no love, and you're not doing anything except for just like a robot, you know, just kind of going through the motions until you become like your spirit is so wounded that it leaves. And I know this for a fact because I had to do like a whole soul retrieval on my sister once. And that was a crazy situation, you know, where that happened because she was like zombieing out, right? And I mean, just walking around like, you know, just going through the motions like she was a robot or something. Okay. And I was like, enough's enough. I took her, I said, you're coming with me. She didn't know what I was going to do. I made her get on the table, put her in a trance, brought her soul back. As soon as her soul came back, she says to me, why the hell did you bring me back? Anyway, and I was like, because you need to come back. She's like, I didn't want to.
Wow.
And anyway, so it was, you know, and then she walked around like flipping her hair and stuff, you know, through the, you know, store. And I'm like looking at her like, oh God. And she could look at me and she goes, yeah, it's me. It's me, Michelle. Because I started wondering like, whoa, did I bring the wrong person in, you know? It was kind of trippy. But, you know, but the bottom line is that, you know, when you have a body like that that's walking around and their spirit left.
Yeah.
What can enter into it? And honestly, I'm starting to wonder if that's what the hell is happening. Because like, how does a person just shift like that? Like what happened with you? Like the girl that I was talking about on Facebook.
Because she was on probably, I don't know, don't quote me, but she was probably on something like heroin. I mean, I think it was more than marijuana. Cocaine, not her. Heroin.
What? A woman put her own child in the oven. What are you talking about, Shannon?
Hello, Anton. What's that?
She just said, right. I just caught that. Right.
A woman put her own child in the oven.
I don't know anything about that. Oh my God. I mean,
okay. So
God. This is
people are, and I'm noticing, the thing is, are we just noticing it more? But no, I think people are, there's something, the thing is, we have to get to a tipping point in anything like this before it'll get better. It's got to come to a tipping point where it can't maintain itself anymore, and then it'll just come crashing down to be rebuilt because.
But I think the thing that really worries me is that some people are just not doing the work, and they're allowing these encounters to bring them down. Because I'm going to tell you something, these encounters are hitting me too. Okay. I mean, it's, these things are happening to us. Okay. These people are attacking you, and these events, crazy shit, or bad luck or whatever, energy shifts that are affecting you. It's coming into our existence. Okay. I walked around with a little crystal ball around me for a long time. And now all of a sudden these energy shifts are like, and so I'm constantly having to deflect, it's like, whoa, but because I'm awake and because I'm aware and I know exactly what's going on, I'm like, all right, whoop, and I really analyze it, look at it, see if see if it is what it is, and pay attention to it, and nurture it if it needs to be nurtured, get rid of it needs to get rid of, it's.
And at the end of the day, like we're saying, well, it doesn't say in the title, but the inner work. I was saying this to a lady earlier on that I did a reading for. She's from, I think it was Latvia or somewhere like that. Is doing the inner work. Like all of us, it's really important. If you really want to feel good and have a good life and a successful life, or whatever success is to you, and not to have all this drama and chaos every day. I mean, and I've realized that I mean, I'm not perfect. I have my moments. Like, but when I was sick last week after this event, I started getting really acting irritated with my son, and I was like, this isn't me. Like, what is going on? I'm doing something that is, it doesn't feel like me, and it feels out of character. But it was probably part of all, whatever had attached itself to me was then trying to attack Lewis, and we were,
So, I was watching this video today.
And then people end up falling out, don't they? Or marriages break down because,
I know. So what we like to do, you guys, is to give you some solutions, okay? And to help you. And I was watching this video today, and that was on Facebook. And, I felt like Spirit was giving this to me because, here I was kind of like, I got myself a little worked up, I was feeling it because I'm a very energy focused person, and I can be kind of dramatic at times. And, but the reality is, if you really know me, I, in my day-to-day life, when I'm working with my clients, I'm really peaceful, but I'm high energy when it's something that I'm excited about or passionate about or upset about, but that doesn't mean that it's anger or frustration, or don't misread it. Okay. So anyway, I'm watching this video. Okay. And this guy is talking about energy vampires. Okay. Mm-hmm. And he kind of changed the focus into energy, and then he changed the focus into manifestation. But he starts talking about energy vampires, and he starts talking about people, and he says 3 types of people. There's people that uplift you. There's people that are kind of neutral. And then
I've watched the same thing, I think. So
I shared it on the stripes. Little stripes on his forehead. Yeah, I shared it on Facebook. Yeah.
I can't remember if I shared it or not. I went to share it, or I've saved it.
So I actually took some notes on what he said. And some of the things that he was talking about that I really loved was he was really getting into this whole thing about energy. And he was saying that, energy goes where it's allocated. So, and it doesn't like judge or decide or say, oh, I have a consciousness, I'm going to, you're good, you're bad, whatever. It doesn't work that way. It's where it's allocated. It's what you put into it. And so he was talking about, he goes, think of energy like water. And he goes, if you take water and you put it out in your garden, are you going to be watering the weeds or the flowers? And he said, well, both. And he said that water has no ability to discriminate between the weeds and the flowers. Energy is the same way. If I take energy and I invest it into something negative, it's going to grow, and it's going to become something negative. But if I take energy and I invest it into something that's more positive, it's going to grow and it's become more positive. So whatever you invest energy into, it starts to grow and it manifests into your life. And so he's saying, just reallocate your energy into people that uplift you and people who don't. And like he said, and basically don't put any energy into people that don't uplift you. Mm-hmm. He said that life is a result of is is a result. Life is meant to be happy, and
Yeah.
what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to pursue a lifestyle that results in happiness. And he said that the way you do that is by investing all of your energy into people that you care about. Like he was also talking about, like, if you take 10% of your energy and you put it into somebody that really doesn't deserve it or is like downer. And he said that's 10% of your energy you could have put into people that you love. And and he was basically saying that he said, the words that he used was, I never chase happiness. I pursue a lifestyle where the byproduct of life is happiness. And he says, how I do that is I spend time with myself and I find out who and what is important in my life. And I take that finite amount of energy that I have and I focus it into those things. And I also believe in my own ability to manifest something in my life. And I invest my energy wisely. So I literally like typed out everything he said because I just thought it was so beautiful. And I
It's
thought,
true though, isn't it? You know, why we've done it, we've all done it. Why do we waste our time on people? Because we're trying to fill them up, thinking if we fill them up, they're going to be nicer and then things are going to be better. But no, because that person's going to keep draining and draining you until you're empty.
Well, he actually made a really good point. Okay. He said that there's people that uplift you. Mm-hmm. And there's people that's neutral and people that bring you down. And he said, people that uplift you, you spend 5 or 10 minutes with them and you walk away feeling great. You know? And he said, people are neutral. It's like you spend some time with them and you walk out feeling the same.
Yeah.
People that are downers, you walk away feeling kind of crappy.
And he also did say somebody might just be grieving and it's not their normal, like they're not always, there was like if someone's grieving and they've lost someone, but generally they're either neutral or uplifting, then they're not, they feel like they're draining you, but they're not the real energy vampires.
And he was saying to be gentle and kind and invest that energy into them because they're worth it.
Yeah.
And he was like, these are people you care about. These are your family and your friends and the people that you love and you support. And that's where your energy needs to go, is to help the people that you love, people that you support, people that are going through something. And I, you know, when he said that, I was like, oh my God, that's a message that a lot of people need to hear because, you know, I remember I was talking to you once about the God complex that sometimes spiritualists get into. And it's like, oh, well, they're so negative. You know, it's like, well, they're freaking they got cancer. You know, it's like, you need to be loving them right now. This is tough. This is the hard spot they're going through. Or their husband just lost their job. You need to be, instead of going, oh God, she's being so negative about that. You know, it's like, why don't you sit there by their side and bring them back up? Because that's not how they normally are.
If they were someone that's always like that, then it's a whole different, you know, if that's their permanent state, then
exactly. And that's what he was talking about. It's about you got to look at he also said like using your energy as like, see it like you treat it like you treat your money, you invest it wisely. Like,
yeah, because I didn't watch the whole thing actually. I thought, oh, I'll save that. I need to watch the rest of that later because I had to go and do something. So I only got halfway through.
You know, and it is like that. It's like, you know, there's people that you care about, and then there's people that are constantly negative. I mean, they're negative all the time and they don't shift. They don't go back and forth, you know. The majority of the time they're negative. I mean, you know, basically, what do they say? The fruit of, you know, your fruits will show. I think there's some kind of quote, you know, on your fruit, you know, and it's like the byproduct of your life is going to show by your.
Isn't it the apple doesn't fall far from the tree, or does that mean something else?
No, it's kind of the same thing. It's kind of the same thing. It's like, it's all like, so for instance, both of my children love me dearly. We have a really good relationship. Both of them are highly successful, beautiful people. And so I see that when you know, when people like, they come up to me and they go, you have to be a great person and you have to be a great mother to have kids like that. So that's your fruit. Okay. Because like, you know, I mean, like your son, he's a great guy and he's a hard worker and he really tries to contribute and he really tries to be logical.
Yeah, logical. Yeah, not many 19-year-olds. I mean, I had a relative who at 28. Yeah, at 28, he didn't contribute a penny. Yet my son is contributing his share at 19.
Well, he's acting so grown up for his age. He's so young. And
that's probably, it's probably sometimes a bit hard on him. That's part of it.
Well, he's an adult now. It's kind of part of his thing. He's got to do. But, the fact that he's helping you, and that shows a lot about the kindness in his heart. That's the fruits, that you produce.
Yeah, because I've watered that with putting my love and care, and if you think about it, like for both of us, for our situation, I'm the one that's been there through thick and thin, that's been there, that's stayed there. People have dropped off, even that, a family or blood, they're not there pouring the love in, are they? And I guess I've been the only one that's been the constant in 19, nearly 20 years. And, but you get out of it what you put in, like you say, with anything. If it's a pet, if you love that pet and you put all good energy into that pet, you've probably got a pretty happy, healthy pet.
Somebody, I didn't catch the whole conversation, but somebody was saying something about having, a hard time with having patience. And the thing is that the reason that you feel, I don't know the whole story behind that, but the reason a lot of times people feel like that they don't have patience with somebody is because they feel like they have to change them. And they feel like that, it's a lot of times it's like you feel like that a person should be a certain way or act a certain way. And the reality is that's not your job. And your job is to love the people that you care about and invest in the people that mean something to you. And if they're going through a hard time, then you help them. But aside from that, if they're just constantly negative, step away. You can love them gently and kindly without stepping in the, there's no reason to have patience. In other words, like, I don't need to have patience with this particular person because I'm not going to actively bring them into my life. I'm not going to engage it. It's their responsibility to manage their own shit, and it's not mine.
Like Spoon Power 23 is it's hard to walk away from people you've known for a really long time, going through it. I don't know, the RN or something. Also is getting closure from other person necessary. I don't think, it's no secret, I've cut ties from a family member that gave birth to me. So if I can cut ties with that person, I think you can cut ties with anybody if you really, your life's going to be better for it. And I don't think, if you don't get closure from somebody, you can do it yourself, because some people you'll never get closure from. And if you're wasting your time if you want to get closure from somebody that you might never get it from. You can close it yourself.
I think the biggest thing is you have to recognize it's not your responsibility. And so it's not your responsibility. So what you need to do is, it's not necessarily like stepping away does not mean that you have to have a conversation with this person and say, look, I'm stepping away from you because you're so negative and I have tried to help you and you're a piece of shit and it's just not working. That is not what I'm saying. Sometimes just not engaging so much energy, not putting that energy into them, you just say, not into that problem. Like I do like what I call a diversion technique. Okay. So I'll show you guys how to do it. So Trisha, make up something and just say something to me that's negative, like about your life, like, oh, poor me, blah, blah, blah.
Oh,
like,
about my life.
Just make it up. Don't say anything true. Okay. Just make up something.
Something that's negative and pretend something's negative in my life.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Oh gosh. It's hard to do that when you try to.
Okay, just do like you around negative people come up and say shit to you. So say something like they've said that annoys you.
What I'm saying about you, about myself?
About yourself. Just complain about your life.
I could use a really good example of each other. So, I'm really, this does get to me, how people get in my business, like they tell me they judge me if I don't agree with them, if I'm not on board with their beliefs, and then I get called names. That really gets to me. That's actually a true one. Okay. I don't mind admitting it.
Well, I didn't want to get into your business.
No, I don't mind. It's like when people are like constantly think it's okay to cross a boundary, to keep at me, when I've never probably even spoken to the person. That pissed me off. Sorry.
And so we're going to pretend like this is all you do, not...
And I moan about it every day, like all day, every day.
Okay.
I'm going over the top now.
All right. So Trisha, you know, I hear you, sweetie, and I know it's tough and this world is going to shit in a handbag, but you know what? Let's talk about something really good. Like, tell me something great that's going on in your life.
But I don't want to talk about that. I just want to talk about all these people that keep putting me down. Well,
you know what, sweetie, I understand that, but you've been feeling so bad for so long. So I think that you deserve a break from that. So like, why don't we go to the movies and see a comedy?
What was I supposed to say now? I'm not very good at it.
Okay, anyway, this is what I call a diversion technique.
Oh, yeah, so I say, oh, yeah, let's go to the movies, and then it won't make me think
right, it's like I'm trying to get you off of the subject, okay? Like, don't give power to it is what I'm saying. Like, my mom, for instance, she's had surgery on her knee and feeling so bad, and it's been really tough. So, you know, and you've been thinking about that a lot, and everybody's always asking you how you're doing, and you're always talking about it and all this other stuff. So I said, so why don't you tell me something good? Tell me something good that's going on. And she'll go, oh, okay, I just got this new Cricut, and it's like, it does all these crafty things, and oh my God, it's so cool. And I was like, oh my God, why don't you show me? And then she's like,
asking me, if I'm pronouncing this correct, this is how I say it, gematria, which is Jewish numerology. Have you seen this? Are you into this? Blah, blah, blah. And I kept saying, no, I'm not interested. I just wasn't probably ready because I was finding my feet, building my YouTube channel. I was happy with. And then my friend Suzanne sent me this video. And there's this really great guy called Zach. Well, I think he's great. CJ, I was just been like a bit over the top about that. It's happening on YouTube, but like it doesn't affect me like it used to. We're just trying to we
were making a point. We were just trying to dramatize the situation.
I was trying to dramatize it.
To prove a point. Like I was just trying to illustrate how to do diversion. I
found a good way of actually turning that into a positive that makes me laugh. So that's a good thing. But anyway, so this guy called Zachary Hubbard, who I'd love to one day hopefully interview. He is how I'm passionate about numerology, especially in the beginning. This guy is like that with gematria, which is Jewish numerology, and it's like, so I've signed up for his Patreon where we started Tuesday classes. This is how I've turned. I could have sat there moping like, oh, this is really getting me down, blah, blah, blah. I signed up for his classes 3 hours last night. We were sat on YouTube in a private group, great bunch of people. Everybody got on. Everybody's like, sharing tips. My mind was blown because I couldn't take enough information in. But you know what? I was like, I could sit there and moan and drown my sorrows for 3 hours, or I could go and learn. This is a good technique as well. Or I could go and learn something new and actually expand my mind and help, hopefully help other people with this one day, or just something for me to learn.
You know what? That is an awesome way to approach it. And I love that. And that's so funny because that's kind of how I do things. I had this kid come in today. And the mom's all like, oh, he's ADD and this and that. And he's, and he's like all feeling bad about himself. And he goes, I just want to be more respectful and I want to do this and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, before he walked out the door, I had him feeling like he was a literal genius, literally a genius. And the mom's like ready to put him in all these genius classes now.
Mm.
And because I was like, oh, that's what geniuses do. That's what smart people do. That's what, you just got to learn how to redirect your energy. So do this and do that. Oh, what are you interested in? Oh my God, let me send you this movie about that. Have you ever seen this? You ever seen that? And I was like, here, try this, try that. You're going to, oh my God, let me tell you how to get over that. And he's like, I don't want to do dishes. And I'm like, what are you into? And he's like all into time travel and all this in space and the universe and all this other stuff. I mean, like all the things that I'm interested in. Right. And so I'm like able to have a really good conversation with this kid. And I'm like, well, have you ever seen What the Bleep Do you know, or something like that? And he's like,
it's a cool film. I've got that.
Yeah. And I said, so I sent him the link, and I said, watch this show. And I sent him the proton experiment thing. And I sent him that. And I'm having this conversation. By the time I walked out of there, the mom's like convinced this kid is like the smartest kid in the world. And I'm like, and I told him, don't own your diagnosis. You're the only, because if you sit here and you say, oh, it's always going to be your excuse for every single thing you do. Oh, it's because I'm ADD. It's because I can't focus. And I said, your mom wants you to do the dishes because it's going to teach you how to be a productive person in this world, how to be responsible. So go download Cosmic Disclosure that talks about UFOs and conspiracy theories, or go watch it, or go watch a YouTube thing from Leap Project or something like that, and put your earphones on and do the freaking dishes. And he was like, I said, because your mind will be stimulated, and that way you're not going to be like, oh God, I'm wasting my time. And he's like, mom's like sitting here with the mouth just dropped, and he's like, I can do that. Like, I can do that, and it's so funny because the solutions to our problems are so simple, and that's the thing is that the biggest problem that people have is they get so dwelling on these little things that they don't look outside the box. They're so in here. Oh, my mother's making me do this. It's like,
even I put something on YouTube when I'm washing the dishes. Like, I'll put my phone up.
When I'm cooking, I've got it right there. I'm watching somebody, and exactly. It is like, I'm like, the thing is that, this whole thing was stop being an asshole. Okay. Well, you're being an asshole to yourself. Okay. Because you're not treating yourself, your mind, and your body with respect. Okay. If you're not treating yourself with respect, that means that you should be doing everything you love. You should be talking to people that you love, and stop feeling obligated to things you don't love.
I actually was having this conversation with myself earlier about tonight. I do this. And I was thinking,
I love it.
So say 2 or 3 hours you're gossiping on the phone about other people or face to face about other people. It could be gossip because that's very addictive. It could be feeling sorry for yourself. Particularly gossip was the one that came to mind. That 2 or 3 hours, like I went and did a gematria class, which can be every Tuesday. You know, in that 2 or 3 hours, you could have gone and worked out. You could have gone and helped the homeless. You could have learned something new that's going to improve your life instead of spending 2 or 3 hours gossiping or whatever you're doing or being angry. That's not productive. Put that energy into something positive that's going to help your life or someone else's life if you don't want to improve your life. But I have these conversations with myself. That's what I was talking to myself. But it wasn't about me. It was about how other people, because I think gossip's like an addiction. It can be an addiction, can't it?
I think that
it feels good to them at the time.
It's kind of like human nature on some level.
We've all done it.
To talk about other people. Sometimes it's talking about them as out of concern. Sometimes it's talking about like, oh my God, Like, or sometimes it's talking about them because you're trying to figure out, like what's really happening here.
Yeah, but there's a difference when you just sit there
but
bitching.
some people are just bitching and moaning and complaining and talking shit and starting shit. But
yeah, but that's where you could put it productive into go to a class, go work out, go and spend time with family, or, spend time with your children that you don't spend time with, or something. I don't know, anything. That time, and then if you did that over a period of time, you could have built something really productive or learned a new skill.
Right. Okay, so you just said exactly what I was reading about what that guy said, and that's about taking your energy and seeing that energy as like money. Like you invest your money wisely. If you don't spend it wisely, you don't have any, and you're always poor, and you're like looking for the next dollar and struggling, right? You can I know people, like I have one client who was telling me that he makes a lot of money, but he has no money because he didn't manage it wisely. Okay. So that's kind of like that. Okay. So you take that, you can have a person that makes a lot of money and they manage it wisely and they have a lot of money. And then you've got somebody and they're able to use that money to make more money and, so forth, so on. And they invest it wisely. But then you have other people who don't. Okay. And then they're making a lot of money, but they have nothing, and their house is fixing to get foreclosed, or the cars are getting towed, and, that kind of stuff. So you think of energy in that same concept. Okay. And you're investing your energy in the wrong way. And then what ends up happening is that you suffer because of the way people are treating you, because your investment in that energy it's not allocated right. Until this energy comes back to you and it slams you in the face. And it's like not having any money. It's like now you don't have any energy because somebody's drained it from you. It's, the bottom line is that, when I say stop being an asshole to yourself first. Because if you're not being kind to yourself and you're not like thinking of this energy inside of you as precious gold, like think of it as being precious. Where do you need to invest it? Well, you're putting so much energy into this person that's a piece of shit that won't change, but yet you've got your wife at home that needs some love and compassion, or your dog or your kids or your friends, and you're just off, putting energy where it doesn't need to go. Put it where it needs to go.
Yeah.
Put it in people that are worth it. People that need that love and compassion and understanding and gentleness and time, that quality time, and that's
Kimberly's made a comment, money slips through my fingers, things always break down. Now that's a whole nother, that can be like, what do they call it? There's like an unconscious limiting belief, like you get the money, but then all of a sudden something breaks, then you've got all that money you've just got has to go on the thing. That's linked to your money paradigm and blocks or limiting beliefs that you have about money. And it's not always conscious. You probably don't sit there and think, oh, when I get money, something's going to break. But if you keep saying it, you're going to attract more of that. You have to change that.
Right. And that's exactly it. Because if you're focusing on the negative stuff, you're going to attract negative stuff. And if you're focusing on the positive stuff, you're going to attract positive things. And
she said 3 steps forward, 3 steps back. And I understand Kimberly's explaining, but if you keep saying that, you're going to get more of that. And this goes for any of us.
It has to do with what you focus on. And that's the thing, Kimberly, is that what you probably should do is go back and watch our manifesting video. And that maybe that'll help you a little bit. But and we probably should do even more videos on manifesting. I mean, because it seems to be an ongoing issue. But look, you guys, I am not perfect by any means. Okay. I have my days. Okay. I do. And I will but I know how to manage it, and I know what I need to do. And the first thing to do is acknowledge it. I'm upset. Okay. And then you go, and then the next step after that is ask yourself, okay, does this serve me? No. So then after you acknowledge that it doesn't serve you, you say, okay, I have to let this go. You say it out loud. Say, I have to let this go. And then after you do that, you say, okay, I'm letting it go. And I'm going to put my energy into something completely different. Okay.
And also watch the cosmic ordering live I did as well with Alan Watts, because that will help about, I actually did a cosmic, one of mine came true within 2 days the other day.
What? You got to tell me about that.
Yeah. So, and it wasn't about, it's linked to money, but it wasn't a lump sum money. It was to do with, just quickly.
Anton said Michelle will hunt you down.
I can say it now because it's come true, but I put a cosmic order in because I went through all her videos because I wasn't writing it down, and she doesn't write them down anymore because she just manifests so quickly. But I did write this down, and I said that I wanted to connect with somebody through YouTube, I said, that's going to help expand like my global network. I literally used those words. And, because you got to keep networking, haven't you? And I thought it would be another YouTuber or something like that we sort of know. And then my guest today, after we went off line, so it's through YouTube in a way. And she said, check this out. And it's called something global network, the 2 words that I used, and let them know that I put you forward to be part of this network. So
holy cow.
And I'd realised afterwards, I thought, that was one of the cosmic orders I put in literally the other day.
Think about what you were feeling and how you were feeling during the time that you were manifesting this.
I made sure I really got into the positive, and because I did the interview.
You're also thinking about the outcome, how it's going to make you feel. You were focused on what that's going to do.
And the words I used as well.
Right. I mean, you weren't focused on worry and stress and fear. You were focused on the outcome and what it's going to bring you and the ultimate result.
And I forgot about it, to be honest with you, because I thought because this is where your mind gets in the way and says, oh, it'll come through another YouTuber that I might, no, I need some cheesecake. You can send me some IRX. You start to think, oh, it's going to come from perhaps somebody I know on YouTube that we just sort of know in this circle. And I just totally forgot about it. And and it's come in a way that I wasn't expecting through a guest rather than somebody who's actually.
I know. Isn't that crazy how that happens? Yeah. So the bottom line is, you guys, is that, you've got to get rid of something that you're holding on to, the negative energy that's keeping you from manifesting, you've got to go through the steps. And so like, okay, so like, I know, okay, so like I said, I'm not perfect. And I have things that happen to me that upset me. But if I'm dwelling on it, if I'm holding on to it, what it's going to do is it's going to attract negative energy to me. Okay. Mm-hmm. And so I have to go through the steps too. When I went on this trip to Cancun, my husband was supposed to go with me. And at the very last minute, this job came through, and it was a brand new job that he's been wanting to get that pays double the amount of money. And they said, like, okay, we need you to start today. And it was like, I was like sitting here waiting, thinking, okay, he's going to go. And at the very last minute, this happens. And I was like, and I was really disappointed. So I fly to Mexico. I get into my room, and my daughter says, "C'est la vie, Mom. Me and my new to-be husband want some time alone." And I was like, okay. And I go into my room, and this is the most beautiful room I've ever seen in my entire life. It is so gorgeous, so beautiful. It was like paradise. And I walk in there and I start crying. And I cried, and I cried some more.
Aww.
And then I called Shane, and after I got out, walked around a little bit, and I was by myself, and everybody's coupled off, and I didn't know anybody. And I came 3 days early, and I was just like, tears came out, and I sat at the bar, and the bartender's like, and I was like, I don't know what to do. And he's like, and a tear kind of ran down my eyes, and I was like, okay, this is ridiculous. So I went back in the room for a sec, and I sat there, and then I was just like, I don't know what to do. And I cried again. And then I called Shane, and Shane's like, you're in a beautiful place. You get out there, you go find somebody. and you go find somebody and you hang out with them. Just go meet somebody, just get out there. And I'm like, and I said, okay. So when I hung up, I said to myself, this feeling is not related to anything in my past. This is a real situation right now that's happening. That's upsetting me. And it's upsetting me because I wish my husband was with me. Right. And so I said, but is this honoring me? Is this serving me to feel this way? Because I have the opportunity to experience this beautiful thing and I'm sitting here crying. So my answer was no, it's not serving me. So the next thing I did was I said, I need to let this go. And then I said to myself after that, okay, I'm letting it go right now. I'm going to get out. I'm going to put my bathing suit on. I'm going to go to the main pool where there's a ton of people and I'm going to have a drink and don't tell Jeff. Anyways, I'm going to have a margarita and I am going to have a good time. And that's exactly what I did. And I did have a good time. And I ended up meeting some people and I ended up having a blast. And so the point behind this is that it takes action behind that. You get over your shit. Okay. You sit there and you dwell on it. And what ends up happening is you become a miserable human being and your spirit leaves your body. And then you become a vessel for that evil shit to enter into. And you become like the zombies eating people. Okay. I mean, there's enough of those around. You need to allow your spirit to grow, to be enlightened, to experience life, to share, to love, to embrace life, to go on this incredible journey of this incredible world that we live in that's absolutely incredible, that has beautiful oceans and beautiful waterfalls and beautiful mountains and amazing animals and all this wonderful things that we can do. And there are good people in this world. Obviously, we have good people in this chat room. And so embrace in these things.
Because eventually people don't want to be around you if you're constantly miserable. I mean, there are people, like my son's got a heart condition. I've talked about this many times before. He never uses that as an excuse. Now, he could use that as every excuse to get out of something. If anything, I've been the overcautious one about like, oh, be careful, He has never, ever to this day used his heart as an excuse for not doing something. In fact, he's quite the opposite. He'll try and do something to prove he can do it, whether it's football, whether it's going to the gym, buy the McDonald's cake.
He said buy the McDonald's cake.
He's nuts.
He's always talking about food.
Yeah, he is.
Cheesecake or McDonald's cake or something. Anyway, it's so funny. Yeah, you know what?
But he could use that as an excuse for absolutely everything to get out of something, really, couldn't he? Like, oh, I'm tired today, Mum, because of my heart, but actually he doesn't.
But that's kind of like, that goes back to the whole thing about owning your diagnosis. You guys stop owning your diagnosis. Okay? You don't, because when you own your diagnosis, that's all you can ever be. All I can ever be is a person with a heart condition, so I can't get out, I can't have fun, can't do anything.
He's quite the opposite. I've been the one that's sort of...
Right, exactly. That's my whole point. He's not owning his diagnosis. And, or I'm bipolar, so, hey, that's my excuse for being a bitch.
Yeah.
or
neither of us are bipolar, by the way.
I'm ADD, so that's my reason I can't listen to what you're saying. I can't pay attention to you. I can't give you attention. I can't listen to anything you're saying. I really don't really give a shit, but I'm going to use that excuse. Okay.
Yeah.
It's when you own your diagnosis, you can't ever improve. So, I mean, this is all kind of comes back to stop being an asshole to yourself and to your other people and get over your shit. Get over it.
Kimberly said, I had something wonderful happen to me, but as I started to focus and worry about it, as it unfolded, it fell through and got delayed. It might work out down the line. How do I keep positive? You got to think about what the end result you want. This is like the cosmic ordering or manifesting. When you worry, it's going to go wrong. The chances are it's going to go wrong unless you're really lucky.
It's going to go wrong. You might as well just count on it. It is absolutely going to go wrong.
this is where you've got to get out your own way. And it might sound woo-woo, but you think about how you want it to be, what outcome you want. It might be even better than you imagined. Usually it is, but we get in our own way, you know?
You're absolutely right. You are absolutely right. I mean, everything you're saying is on the money. And this is the thing, is that you're asking, how do I get past that? And the thing is that you've got to get out. You've got to get outside of yourself. You've got to put your energy, instead of worrying about if it's going to work out the way you want it. Why don't you visualize the way you want it to work out? Instead of you put your energy into the things that are positive. So listen to what I said in the beginning when I was reading that thing about that guy. Okay. What that guy said. Okay. The guy said literally that when you put energy into negative thinking, you get negative results. So when this situation comes up and you're thinking negative about it, your worrying is negative. Okay. So when you're thinking negative about it, you're going to get a negative result. If you're thinking positive about it, you get things like what happened to Trisha. She's over here thinking positive about what she needed, what she wanted. And she starts thinking and visualizing the result of what that's going to do to build her channel, to make her more successful. And guess what? It shows up in 2 days. If your energy is in the right alignment, it's going to show up within a couple of days. If you don't need to wait a week, a month, or whatever, and sitting here going, oh, it's not happening. It's not happening. If that is the situation, and it's not showing up within a couple of days, or, something like that, then that probably means that your energy and you're focused on too much negative stuff in your life.
Well, Ellen said when she came on, she said 3 weeks. If you haven't manifested in 3 weeks the thing you want, redo it, because you've either missed the opportunity, you've missed the signs, or you're blocked. Give it 3 weeks and then you need to redo it.
No, I actually really agree with that. I mean, I think that when you're in the right space, though, it goes really fast. It usually happens really fast.
Sorry, Anton says Trisha has had a year of support and advice. I don't know who he's talking about. Who have I heard that from, Anton?
Trisha's like, I've seen like a huge change in Trisha. I mean, she's like, yeah, you're like on fire. You're doing really good.
What, just recently, or?
No, just like since I've known you. Like you're even more dynamic, like on here, like you're more open, you're more vocal, like, but then again, you have to kind of be to catch up with me. It's like, I gotta try to speak over Michelle, But I guess I just see a lot of growth in you. I mean, I really do.
Yeah, I can tell I've changed and grown, and my channel's grown. We've hit over 6,000 now. We're on our way to 7,000 subscribers.
Oh.
So I think we're going to be at 10K. My goal is 10K before the end of the year. So I've set that goal, that intention to hit 10K before the end of 2018. The way it's going, it's probably going to happen before then. But some people might say, can't think that. What if it doesn't happen? I'm going to look stupid. But that's not looking stupid.
You know exactly what you're doing. I mean, you're manifesting, and so that's the thing. That's something I need to do. I need to focus on growing my channel too. I need to come up with a number that I should try to reach for.
I had 7 subscribers in November, end of November last year.
So what do you think is a logical number I should reach for? I don't know where I'm at right now. I think somewhere around 150, not a lot.
160. You're on that?
Oh, I am. Oh, good. Hey, it's grown. Like, actually,
what do you mean, by the end of the year?
Yeah, by the end of the year. What do you think?
The thing is, some people
it's like 1,000 by the end of the year.
Yeah, aim for your 1,000. That's the first sort of sweet spot.
The first one is 1,000, right?
Tom's put 161. Yeah, aim for 1,000 by the end of this year.
Aim for 1,000 for the end of the year. Okay.
Because that's when you can get, if you want it, not everybody turns it on. You can get a super chat. You can be monetized if you want to be. If you've got the 4,000 viewing hours.
That's like I need 500 subscribers a month. That means actually
October, November. You got 3 months.
350-ish a month. Yeah. Okay. That means I'm going to have to start bumping up my videos. I'm going to have to start doing dailies. Hey, I came up with this really good idea that I was thinking about doing, and you tell me what you think. I was thinking I'm going to do a relationship series.
Yeah, definitely. Relationships is.
I was actually thinking about doing that, like maybe for like a week and do it every day.
Or maybe, yeah, or even I was going to say longer, even maybe than a week.
Well, I just don't know how long it's going to take to get through it. So, yeah, it might take longer, but I think that I was thinking about doing that, and I was thinking that a relationship series would be really good, because I think that a lot of, what I hear from some of my clients, the people that call me, is a lot of times when they're trying to be, I'm trying to get present, I'm trying to get positive, I'm trying to get the right mindset. And I ask them what's keeping them from it. And it's always a relationship issue that stops them. It's, their husband's so negative, or, or he's a narcissist, or,
Right. So
there we go with the labels again,
they're saying they can't achieve something because it's, say, their husband that's blocking them. Or I was just sending Anton a message because he was saying how many private convos we had about your situation on YouTube earlier this year. And he's right. He's been one of the few rocks and good friends to me. So I was just acknowledging that, so he didn't think I was...
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
A lot of people can be... Hasword. And again, this is how different people interact, whether it's astrology. He's never ever got on my nerves. I've said this before many times. He's never irritated me. I don't think I have him, to my knowledge. But yeah, some people can instantly be put off by his jokey, jovial, like, banter. But so
no, I think he's a great guy. Hey, you guys, just since I heard somebody say share my videos, and actually a couple of people have said that, you know what, you guys would help me a whole lot if you just go into, like, I guess you'd share them on Facebook and stuff, right? When you hit
the share button, it gives you the option to share on Facebook, Twitter, Google+, Blogger, Reddit, Pinterest, Tumblr, some foreign...
Yeah. So yeah, if each one of you guys, like, just shared my videos, or, that would be awesome. I'd appreciate it. This one would be a good one to share. I mean, just
you know what I do when I'm emailing clients back, because I do the Groupon thing as well. I put a link to one of our videos. So I could put a link to this video on your channel at the bottom of my emails, like, because what it does then is people that aren't on my YouTube, like, it might be, I'll share the latest interview in the email, and then they get to see the interview and hopefully subscribe to your YouTube channel. So I've started doing that with my emails.
You know what? You said that you put a link on your Groupon.
No, I have a Groupon offer that has been going for like 2 or 3 years.
But do you put a link to your YouTube on it?
No, not on Groupon. It puts, so I sell numerology profiles through Groupon.
Right. So, well, I do a Groupon too. That's why I was asking you.
Okay.
I was just trying to figure out, like, what you're doing, because I think that might be something that I could do.
They have to email me to send the code to me to redeem it.
Mm-hmm.
So when I'm emailing them back to say what information I need from them, their names and stuff, I always put the YouTube link to a video or something.
Oh, okay. So I don't have it set up that way for me. Basically, they have to go online and book an appointment. So the reason that I have them going online instead of emailing or calling me is because I'm always in a session and I don't have time to return phone calls. I end up spending like hours returning phone calls, and then half people I can't get a hold of, and then it may be days or weeks before I can call again.
Yeah, for me, it's just the profile. So the easiest for us was I need them to email me because I need to get their names and date of birth, and it would save phone conversations and stuff. So for me, that worked easier doing it that way. Whereas for you, it works easier where they book through. But you do email. You do have an email list.
I do have an email list, but I can put where it says book an appointment. I can actually add my my YouTube thing in different places. And, that's an idea I can do. That's actually a good idea. Another thing I need to do is probably get more involved in, not Twitter. What's the other one? Not Snapchat.
Instagram.
That's it. I probably should get a little bit more, like put links on about my videos and stuff like that on there, I think.
But this is the thing with YouTube, like I started with 7, and at first I thought, oh boy, that's going to take forever it's not a year yet. To be honest, I went with Heidi the beginning of November when she invited me as a guest. I didn't actually live stream on my own channel, I don't think, till the end of November. And at first I thought just getting to 1,000 is going to be, but it's not. For some people, they grow even quicker, but it's still been good for me. The growth's great.
So, but how long did it take you?
Well, like I say, end of November 2017. I'm not even a year into YouTube yet.
Oh, okay.
But if you think about it, talking about where your energy goes, I used to do Facebook Lives, and I was growing and growing on there. I mean, on one live we had 20,000 views, but it's where your energy goes, where you put in my channel's growing because I've put my energy into it. And some people's channels grow quicker.
And I know that because I don't put a lot of energy into it, because I've got most of my energy goes to the clients that I see every day. And,
exactly,
and I need to, and so this whole thing is like, if you think about what that guy was saying, he's like, where your energy goes is what grows, like you just said the same thing. It's like, if you're putting, it's going to, you're going to get, when you put positive energy into something, that you're going to get positive, even more positive energy back. So that's basically, I mean, I also need to put more energy into, that's why I've been kind of looking for like a series or something that I could do, that would keep me committed. I did on Facebook, I did 30 days to spiritual bliss, and I stayed committed to that. So I can come up with, I think I can do a relationship.
I think relationships is huge. So, most readings that I do are usually based, not all, but even if they don't come to me about, I've just put your website in the chat because Maria was asking for it.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Yeah.
Even if a guy comes to me for a reading and it's about work and business, 9 times out of 10, he'll eventually ask about love or relationships, or he might come. Some of them do come to me about their breakups, So I think relationships is a good topic because it depends. Do you mean like one-on-one as in intimate relationships, or do you mean all types of relationships?
Well, I think I could probably do it on couples, and then I could do it on children, and then I could do it on family. I could actually
do a week of each different area or something like that.
I mean, because honestly, I really feel like that's an area that I'm super strong in. And I feel like my relationships are really good. I don't really feel like there's a weakness or a breakdown in that. I feel like there's normal problems that come up, like my son doesn't call me enough, but
I think that tends to be boys, don't you think?
But we had a really good time while we were in. He actually spent a lot of time with me with his girlfriend while we were in Mexico, and he really went out of his way to do that, and he didn't have to. Excuse me, and a tickle in my throat. And I mean, he really went out of his way, and he's a business owner, so he doesn't have a lot of time, But I hear the same thing from my mother. She says I don't spend enough time with her. So it's one of those things. But yeah, wow. I actually think that in all of my relationships, I mean, even including him, I actually feel like I have successful relationships. I don't really have any breakdowns and anything. The things that were negative in my life, I got rid of.
That's what I've done. And the ones that are good are really good and long-term. Or I've had to let people go. Like I'm a really loyal, loving person, but my circle might not be huge. The really good, tight-knit circle. We can know many, many people, but the people that you could, trust and call on and you have the good relationships with might only be small, but that's better than having a big circle that you can't rely on.
I actually agree with that. And I mean, I'm always open to developing new relationships with people. And, you know, I don't, I don't feel like I don't have enough room, you know, for people. Like I don't have that inside of me to say that. But I'm also, you know, I know that sometimes you just kind of have to wade the water for a little while, you know, and see what kind of gets washed up to shore.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how I usually approach relationships is, you know, wade the water for a little while, see what comes up to shore. You know, one of the things that I've discovered from being around you is that you have such a huge, sweet, generous heart. I mean, you're just such a kind person. And I don't know how much of that is reflected because
that's nice,
you know, but I can tell, like, as a friend, you're a good person. And so, like, as I kind of wade in your water,
you make me cry.
I see what's washed up, you know, and yeah, I mean, you really are, you know, I mean, you're one of the truest people I've ever met. So, you okay?
Someone says something nice about you, start crying. No, but it's nice you recognize that in me, because I know that is true about me, and a lot of people either don't see it or don't want it, or they do and they just find it difficult. Yeah, I do. But when people take the time to get to know me, like we've built a friendship and a relationship over time, and you're getting to see me, I'm getting to see you, and you can really get to see what people are like, you know.
I think that sometimes what happens is people judge people on what they see as on the outside. You know, it's like I may be having a bad day or whatever or something, you know. I mean, you know, it's there's this outside core, you know, that people have, and you gotta, like I said, you gotta wade the water for a little while and see what washes up. And because you're like there and you don't know what's going to come up. You've got to kind of stay in there instead of just diving into the deep end, and you don't know all kinds of sharks, you know, and it's, you know, it's one of those things, you know, you just kind of have to play it a little bit. And then, but what happens is people go dive into the ocean and then they get bit or they start drowning and then they cry and then they get upset and they say, oh, people are always hurting me. And I'm like, yeah, but you're stupid. Like,
people don't often take the time to get to, you know, they want instant gratification and this instant friendship or whatever. And if they took the time to actually, and they make judgments very quickly, but like you said, if they took that time, let's see.
Judging too quickly, you know, it's like you don't know what's behind the shell. Like,
exactly.
You do not know what's behind the shell until you sit there and you wait. You've got to wait it out. You've got to take the time to see what's there. And that shell could be really hard. And yet when you penetrate it, it could be super softly and mushy.
But on the flip side, I've noticed some people that I've met this year that have appeared to be so nice and so lovely have turned out to be some of the most unkind backs, you know, have really hurt me and other people, and yet they appear to be super sweet, like, you can trust me. But I'm not fooled by that, because I always sit back and observe, you know, just somebody
wade the water.
Yeah, like you put it as that. And it's not to be sneaky, this is just how I am. I've learned to
I don't think it's just about just being cautious, you know. It's like, and it's not it's
healthy.
You don't approach it like I'm watching you to see if you're gonna fuck up. No, I mean, you don't do that. You just kind of approach it with kindness. Just go into it with kindness, you know, and you see what washes up. And then, you know, if something kind of negative washes up, you're just like, be kind and gentle with that person. And then you just kind of move yourself into a different area of the ocean. You know, it doesn't need to be like, you know, I trusted you. You know, it's just self gently into another space. And if you run into them again, maybe perhaps they've had time to work on themselves, and maybe they may be a changed person. So you can kind of wade in the water a little bit and see what happens. But don't get your feelings hurt, like, because you get hurt because you're diving into the ocean. That's when you get hurt, is because you're diving in too quickly. You're not looking at what's there, and that's what causes the pain. You know? That's why so many people get hurt in relationships, is because they're diving in too quickly.
Yeah, and especially in intimate one-on-one, I see this, I'm sure you do, this people jumping in this instant, like wanting this instant relationship, intimate relationship we're talking about now. And then
there's a term for that. I just learned it from young people. It's called love bombing.
Oh yeah, love bombing. That's classic narcissism.
Yeah,
a narcissist will do that to you. Love bombing.
Yeah, somebody said that to me the other day.
I'm very aware of love bombing. In fact, if someone is too super sweet and nice at the beginning, actually alarm bells start going off for me. Mm-hmm. When it's over the top, you know.
So that's why I use a lot of foul language. Because people think I'm too nice. It's like you throw a little F-bomb out there every so often and they're like, oh, okay, she's sort of normal. I think I could probably trust her. Yeah,
it's Anton's put love bombing. No, not love bombing, love bombing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I knew about the love bombing. I learned that from studying narcissism. That's a classic red flag.
The thing is that, like, I find that when you watch some of these videos and they're all like, you need to love and be kind, and as I was meditating in my garden, and it's like you're sitting here going, but if I said the exact same thing, and I'm saying it with passion, and I'm going, get the fuck out of your head, go meditate. Then they're like, okay, Michelle, I'll do it, and they listen. And so it's interesting because I go, okay, I like her, and it's, I'm not saying that you have to cuss to be liked. That's not what I'm saying. Okay. I'm just saying that,
I think I swore on one of my videos.
Because I don't think you ever swear.
Well, sort of swear. I don't really swear. What did I say? Oh, it'll come. I've forgotten what I said now.
That's funny.
It wasn't the F-bomb. It was something else. I've forgotten what it was. Yeah.
That's funny. Well, you guys, I don't know do you have anything else you want to tally it up?
No, I just want to read back what Maria put, because it was obviously something serious and I didn't want to overlook it. She says, so I put your website in. She says, I'm dealing with my husband who passed 11 years and stuff is coming up to the surface now. So he passed away 11 years ago, was that? And then she put something else, I think.
Wait, so who is this person?
Maria, Truth Seeker Cruz. So she said, I'm dealing with my husband who passed away.
Maria, I'm going to put my email address in here. So I want you to just contact me through email, and then we'll set up a...
She doesn't look old enough to have even been married. She looks so young.
Are you still here?
Yeah, she just put, yeah. Okay. I didn't want to overlook her comment.
Look, I want you to email me ASAP. Okay. And there's my email address. Just say, hey, this is
Maria.
Is it Truth Seeker?
Truth Seeker Cruz, yeah.
Okay, yeah. Just say, and then just say, hey, this is who I am, blah, blah, blah. And then I'll correspond with you and we'll figure out a time that we can talk. Okay. And so I can do video sessions like we're doing right now, like on Zoom, where it's private, obviously. And, or we can talk on the telephone. Either way, it's up to you. And we'll talk about that. We'll figure it out. Okay. So
it must be difficult because I know losing my dad, it'll be 3 years in December. You think if you're going along and then all of a sudden that was weird.
What happened?
My face just changed colour and so did you. I wonder what shook my head like that. That was a bit weird.
Hey, you want to hear something really weird? I was sitting here doing my makeup, okay, when I was getting ready, and I had the video cam on like this, and because I always do my makeup on the video cam because I look different in the mirror than I do on camera. So I'll sit there and I'm doing my makeup, and everything. And in the background, in the lights, it kept on flickering. It would flicker and then flicker and then flicker. And I would turn around and I'd look at the light. Okay, it's not flickering. And then I go like this and you go like click, 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 click.
I know, that just freaked me out. Like my face started going pink and red, and so did yours. And I was like, "Whoa, what's happening?"
I wonder if it recorded that. That's weird because I didn't see it.
I was like, went like that.
I was like over here reading this when that was happening. That's funny.
Because I mentioned my dad, didn't I? I was just saying like, I'm not going to shake my head. Things come up and you think you're okay, and all of a sudden the floodgates open, and yeah. And I guess even after 11 years, things are still going to come up, aren't they? Especially if you suppress things. I guess that goes for anything.
Are you okay?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Why don't I look? No,
I saw you go like this, so I thought maybe you were wiping tears.
No, my eyes have been, because when I was not well, like all my skin's like gone super dry, so I've just been sensitive around all my whole skin. Yeah, I'm all right. I'm not crying. I've just got this habit of touching because it's all. I just lather my beauty serum on, that'll sort it out. But it's sort of dried my skin out this last week.
My skin is always dry, and sometimes it's like I'll lay in bed and I'll start having an itching attack. I mean, like everything's itching.
Yeah, it's like all the skin, you can't tell.
And you're just like,
it feels like it's so dry there. You probably can't tell on camera, but I know normally it's not. It's like super soft. So it's strange.
That is strange.
But I was lying in bed with, like, because my head felt like it was going to explode. I did have like a cold compress, so the water may have
dried it out a little bit.
Yeah, it's probably that.
You might have hard water.
We do.
Okay, that's probably what it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, all right. Let me see if there's anything in the comments that I need to address.
Yeah, I'll let you have a look. Yeah, I think the key is the message is do the inner work at the end of the day.
No, you know what, Ellie, you are so right. Let me tell you something. Oh my God, I got to share this with you. Okay. I'm trying to remember who put out this video. It was Derek.
Global Witness.
Yeah, Global Witness. Okay. He put this video where he's like, this is real stuff, people. And I don't remember the name of the video. Okay. So I'm sorry. But in the video, he posted this thing where this guy was in this room, and he had this thing up and he was talking to a bunch of people in the room, and he was showing these two different scans of the brain. And he said, here's a scan of a fundamentalist Christian, and here's a scan of a person that is neutral and doesn't have religion. And basically he developed this chemical that when inserted into the brain, it changes the fundamentalist Christian into a neutral person. Okay. So he said that he figured out a way that he could put that into a virus and then take the virus and put it in the air. So it alters people's minds. Okay. So it alters people's minds by using a virus that's in the air. Okay. So if he can do that with changing people from being fundamentalist Christians to neutral, what else can they do? So, like, seriously, there's like a war going on. It's like a spiritual war that's happening. And this is really the basis of this. We've joked around. We said a lot of stuff, get over your shit, that kind of stuff. But the bottom line here is there's a war going on. And you guys have got to freaking wake up. Wake up, get over your shit. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Stop sitting here complaining about your crap. Stop sitting here saying, oh, but I keep on having these things happen and these things happen. Here's the thing. You stay there, you're going to be more miserable. Okay. And you get more miserable. And then you become the subject. You become the target for this dark shit. And then you become the person that's lashing out, acting crazy that we're talking about. Okay. And that's what's happening to these people. They're just literally like turning wacko crazy. Like they're killing people, burning people, putting babies in ovens, accusing somebody of molesting them when they didn't do it, or, getting mad at somebody who cares about you and saying, hey, you're responsible for me losing my baby because you went on vacation, which is what happened to me.
I mean,
because I didn't see somebody. She needed to come in and she was having some issues with her pregnancy. And I told her I was leaving the next day and that she could make an appointment when I come back. And when I came back, she sent me a message telling me that she was very disappointed in me and all this other stuff. And that I was the cause of her losing her baby. Like, who says that kind of stuff? Like,
I don't know. That's just...
I get blamed for her losing her child, the demise of her pregnancy, is what she said. And because...
Which we know isn't true, but it still hurts.
Of course it's not true. I mean, I'm not going to buy into that shit.
No.
But the thing is that this is what I'm talking about. This is what happens to you guys if you don't wake up. You've got to get outside of this. Oh, but this keeps on happening to me. Oh, but you don't understand. My husband's so mean. Oh, because my family is abusing me. Oh, my sister is treating me like an outsider. Oh, my kids are all on drugs. You know, I mean, come on. We all have these issues.
We do.
Okay.
Or have. I've got rid of some of mine.
Some of them. Right. Exactly. I mean, but they come up. Okay. Look at the issue I had with Shane losing his job. And, you know, we were like, but I was like all about the manifesting. And I was like, oh, dude, I'm manifesting this shit. I'm going to work twice as hard for you. You know, what happened? He got a job. Yeah, he couldn't go to Mexico with me, but he got that job where he's making double the amount of money now.
Mm.
Okay.
And that's what you got to look. Yeah, there's things that are going to happen in life that maybe you can't avoid. But then it's like turning a negative into a positive. What's the positive you can get out of this?
Absolutely.
Or comes out of it.
Absolutely. I mean, this is the thing you guys have to do is you got to focus on the positive things. Okay. You know what? Because he's making double the amount of money, because he got this new job, because this will work out, we'll figure out another vacation he and I can go on. Okay. I mean, the world is not coming to an end because Michelle couldn't get her way. You know, yes, I was sad and I was being a little self-centered for the moment. And I got over it and, you know, was done. But the thing is this shit does happen to me. It happens to Trisha. It happens to all of us. And if you sit there and dwell on it, then you're going to fall into that. I'm sorry. I keep on.
No, I know you feel to a point, but it wasn't my daughter's wedding, but when, this is something I've probably not shared, when my brother got married, who I actually don't have anything to do with now, he'd banned my ex-husband from his wedding. And I was like chief bridesmaid, whatever. So I was in a real dilemma. I was like, do I go to the wedding because I'm a bridesmaid or do I stick up for my ex-husband, who was the husband at the time, and not go?
Mm-hmm.
It was awful, yeah. But I went to the wedding and I enjoyed it. It turns out I was actually pregnant when I went to the wedding and didn't know. Lewis was in my tummy at the time, but I was like, I'm going to go to the wedding. I'm going to enjoy it. And my ex-husband had to pay the consequences for his actions, and that was to be excluded from the wedding. And I couldn't change anybody's mind, but I still went. And but I could have moaned, I could have bitched, I could have like made their wedding day miserable because I wasn't allowed to have him there, and I didn't. I just got on with it and did it.
Exactly. And that's the whole thing is, you know, there's, like I said,
I could have ruined their day, and I would never dream of doing that to somebody.
I do not claim to be free from problems hitting me, and I don't claim to be free from emotions. What I do say is that I use my tools. And I, you know, I'm gonna get upset. You guys know. I mean, if you're watching my videos, you see I cry sometimes. You know, I'm an emotional person, and things that I care about, I cry about. So, you know, but I have, you know, I mean, I do have a deep heart, and that's why it's like that. So,
and that's funny because when I first knew you, I would have thought out of the two of us, you wouldn't have. I don't really cry much, but I wouldn't have put you as showing your emotions so much. But you show your emotion much more than me, I feel.
Yeah, I'm definitely a crier. I mean, I'm definitely a crier.
But I wouldn't have said that about you, but that was an instant judgment in a way, or assumption.
Okay, so that's the show. That's the shell.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I come across as being strong.
This businesswoman, strong, blah, blah, blah. But you actually probably cry, well, I've seen more than me at the moment.
Yeah, definitely. So I'm like the empress, the strong, the authoritative. This is how you need to do it. But if you're sitting in front of me and you're going through a trial, I'm going to be crying with you. My heart's going to be breaking with you.
Yeah.
Okay. That's how I am. I cry with my friends. I cry for my friends.
Yeah.
I cry when I pray. It's because my emotions are deep, and I have no problem with that at all whatsoever.
Yeah.
But I have to, like you said, it's a shell. It's the outside layer that you've got to wade in the water a little bit before you see it.
Yeah.
Because it's not like something I'm going to like start crying when I first meet somebody. Like, hey, it's nice to meet you. It just doesn't work that way, right? Yeah. I'm not like, I don't have a lot of like tragedy, but I like the reason I was crying about Shane not being able to go to Mexico was because I was crying more for him because I felt like he deserved it. He's been working so hard, and I feel like that he deserved this, and he needed it. He needed it, and he deserved it way more than me. And that's where like I was feeling it for him. Like it was just total sadness that he wasn't there. And so I think it's more empathetic crying that I feel sometimes.
Yeah. I think if you don't mind, I'm going to pull a card for us all before we close out. Would that be good?
That would be great.
A unicorn card, something nice and positive to end the live on. So what does message for everybody, including Michelle in the chat? You both have the card. Let's see, what do we all need to know? That's a message for us. Yeah, you both deserve to have the opportunity to go to the wedding. It just didn't work out. Right, that one's stuck.
That's okay.
Oh, nice.
He got a really good job that's gonna end up being awesome. And soon we're gonna be able to buy that truck.
Beautiful card. Can you see it properly with the light?
Barely. It says trust.
Can you see it? Have I got to get close?
Yeah, it's like a beautiful like horse that has wings. Is it a unicorn?
Yeah, the unicorn cards. Using these unicorn cards.
Oh wow!
I didn't know if the light was reflecting. So it stood on like, I think is the light reflecting?
Hold it still. Just hold it still. There you go. Okay, there you go. That's really pretty. Okay.
So it's like right up on a rock, and it's trust.
Mm-hmm.
Leap into the unknown, have faith, and move forward. Believe you will fly. So.
Wow, that's so interesting because we were just talking about that.
Yeah, let's just see if there's, there will be an extra message, but let's just see if there's anything that jumps out. Yeah, so this is for everybody. And it's just saying your soul is calling you on to take a courageous leap of faith and launch into the unknown. You know deep down that you cannot stay where you are. You've literally just said you'll end up staying where you are, doing the same things in the same way any longer. You've literally just been saying that.
I know.
If stay, stuck. It's time for change. It's time to get out of your comfort zone, to expand and explore. Yet a part of you is hesitating. I won't read it all. Allow yourself to get excited about leaping into the unknown. Let go of control and choose a life of surprise. It's time to throw caution to the wind. Be courageous and trust. When you are brave and take a leap, your wings will appear and you will soar. And as I always says, you can manifest anything in 3 weeks.
There you go.
That's the perfect message for us all, I think.
All right. So I guess I need to claim this. I'm going to manifest 1,000 people on my YouTube channel by the first of the year. So by January 1, right? By
January the 1st, 2019.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Anton says, I don't like saying that loud. F3 weeks now, lol. But so Ellen that I keep referring to, she's got to the point now where if it hasn't come that day, she's surprised. even bigger things. She says herself really, really big things she's still working on. But there's no reason why they can't come in a day or two.
I was telling you for the longest, I would just go, oh, I need da da da, and I'd sit there for a second and I'd visualize the reason I needed it, why it felt good, what I was going to do with it, and how the feelings it was going to bring me. And then I just kind of forget about it and walk away. And then next thing I know, it would show up like within a day or two. It was like, whoa, like I've gotten to the point where I can manifest something in a couple of days. Like, wow. Yeah.
I've been trying to think of some things to manifest. I've written a few things down, but they're quite big things. Of the smaller things, there's nothing I really... I always say manifest things that you don't know, that doesn't create stress or worry. Start there so you can build your faith. So you can build your faith. Build upon it, yeah.
Yeah. So it's like you want to build I always, you got to learn how to build momentum. And so like once the momentum's going, it's like a train that can't stop.
Yeah, because if you want something big and you just got so many blocks, you're probably going to end up saying
you got to build the momentum first. I always start with something small. Like, and my juicer was one of the first things that I did. And I think I told you the story about the juicer. And, I whiteboard, which was really kind of funny. I manifested a whiteboard, and this one of my clients just walked in one day with a small whiteboard and said, I think you need this. And I busted out laughing because I was like, well, I guess I need to be a little bit more precise about the size.
Yeah. And that was another thing. Be precise.
So I ended up literally, then I was afraid that I might get one that's too big. So I literally had to measure the area that I was going to put it in and where I was going to say, and I was like, I want one this size. And I was like,
maybe you have to be specific about dimensions.
Yeah, because it came too small. So then I was afraid that I was going to, if I say I need it big, that
I'm waiting for the comments to come in that size. I'm just waiting for
Anton's going to in on that one.
Anton or Iowa.
Right.
I found to make a comment about size. I wrote. But another thing is as well, which I'm going to get, is she recommends, which is a good tip, to get a lovely. I've just been writing it on A4 piece of paper, but get a lovely journal and make it sort of quite a ritual.
That's what actually I teach.
You probably teach this as well, yeah.
Yeah, it's in my book, and that I wrote, and that it's it's like when I get into the manifesting section, literally like you're writing down every single day the things that you that you want, and you say it in such a way like as if it's already happened. So I love that I have blah, blah, blah. I love that, let's say you wanted the whiteboard, I love that I have this really big whiteboard in my office that I can actually stand up there and, I can write on it while I'm instructing, and I could have several people in the room with me because I have a really large office and I'm doing these classes, these little mini workshops, and I have this great whiteboard to write on. And you're like, I really like it because I don't have to sit there, and do this thing, or, it's like you sit there and you kind of talk about it like that, like you're wanting to grow your YouTube channel. I want to grow my YouTube channel. Okay. So I would say, I love that. Here it is, Christmas time. So you throw a date in, or it's the first of the year, and I'm looking at how many subscribers I have, and I have over 1,000 subscribers, and that really makes me feel so good. And it makes me feel good because I feel like I'm touching people's lives, and I'm really entering into a different realm of where people are listening and caring, and they're wanting to grow spiritually, and that gives me hope for the world. You see how I'm talking about that? Yeah. That's how I teach people to write.
You're reaching more lives and helping more people, and
you're getting into the emotion. Okay, so that's like what you're writing. That's how you write it. You tap into the emotion of what it feels like.
And my son said, Lewis said to me, "Come back to me when you've got 100,000."
Yeah. So anyway, so that's how you do it.
Didn't hear that comment, did you?
What? No, I didn't hear any comments. What did you say?
My son Lewis said to me. So I'd said about my goal is 10K, and he says, "Come back to me when you've got 100,000." That's his, like, you've hit success when you get to 100,000.
So I was talking to my husband the other day, and he was like, I was watching this stuff, and they were talking about how people build their YouTube channels, and like people make money off of that. And I was like, I busted out laughing, and I was like, what do you think I'm doing this? I mean, like, eventually, I mean, it takes a long time, and you have to be to be Rex Bear to get there, but it's the possibilities there. Absolutely. I mean,
some people grow it a lot quicker, and there's no competition. We're not talking about anybody, but there's some YouTubers out there. I mean, Ira X, I don't know if he's still here, but he jokes about me and PewDiePie because I said I was dreaming about a YouTuber and he thought it was him. It's not. He's got like 60 odd million like subscribers. But that's that's been his life. He's made it his life, Mm-hmm. And at one point it all started to get very businesslike, and he was getting like, I think my son watches him. I don't really watch him. It was becoming where he was taken over by the system, and he was a gamer. He just wanted to get back to doing gaming and whatever it is he does. He even met his girlfriend. She's a YouTuber, and he met his girlfriend through YouTube.
Oh, wow. That's interesting.
And that's a full on, it's been going on for years. It's not been they've been, I don't know how long they've been together. I don't know the full ins and outs, but years, so it's like a consistent thing. And yeah.
That's funny. Well, yeah.
Sorry, her son just got his first $200 check from his YouTube channel.
See, that's what I'm saying. That's what my husband was saying. He was like, you can make money over that. I was like, no shit, Sherlock.
What's your son's YouTube channel? You have to put, if you've got the link, put it in the, we'll check it out. He does animated comic. Yeah, you can. Like, you've got to start getting.
There's a girl that there's a girl that hit my subscribe button, and she wasn't anybody that I've ever seen in the chat room. So I clicked on her name, and she has a YouTube channel, and she does like gaming and stuff, like videos on gaming. And it was all like Asian gaming and stuff. What does they say?
Sorry, I didn't mean to laugh.
Best fan of Michelle is an angel, and she is a devil for the Halloween show. Wait, okay. And the only reason he's saying that is because you are the angel and I'm the devil, and he wants us to first. Oh, that's funny. That is.
I was trying to keep a straight face while you were talking, and I'd read that out of the corner of my eye. Who says we're having a Halloween show?
We should do it.
I dressed up as a black cat once, and everybody thought part of my costume was because the black ears looked like horns, but they weren't. So he wants you to be an angel.
Truth seekers, that's messed up. Why not two angels?
I'm just checking the date. What is the Oh, it is a Wednesday as well.
That's so funny.
Halloween is on a Wednesday.
Oh no! My God, we definitely have to do something. Definitely something. You would make a much prettier angel than I would. I would definitely make like a really badass demon.
You've got the dark hair look, so the devil.
I know. I could do the whole demonic. We're
just playing into his fantasy here. You didn't realize.
Yeah. I could wear like a corset or something, and like I used to have some black wings, but I don't have them anymore.
You're gonna come up with full angel,
dark angel. Yeah.
Oh boy, it is on a Wednesday, so we can't. Oh, he must have checked the date.
He must have. Major.
How have I got to? Oh, but
Major Zane is his name. That's the YouTube channel.
Okay. Mayor Zane. Okay. You do realize he's going to be fantasizing about angels and devils now. I'll think about it. Yeah, we might get more subscribers.
Oh, that could be. We should definitely do it, though.
There's your answer to more subscribers.
Yeah. No, I actually think that you would make a much prettier angel I don't think that I would look as pretty as an angel. You know, you've got their blonde hair. You can really like do all this like glittery, sparkly stuff and like glowy stuff because your skin's so fair.
Yeah. If I was going to do it, I'd probably go as an angel. I don't think I'd look right. It's on my channel that week. Not that it matters which channel. I was trying to get you more subscribers. What about a light and dark witch? I don't like witch. I'm not really a witchy. I'm not a really witchy type person.
You could be the good witch of the West from
And you're the bad witch.
Oz, and I'll be the one that's like gets trapped under the house. I know, that's funny.
Okay, Michelle can be the devil. I'll be an angel, and we'll do something like that.
I'll be something dark. Yeah, definitely.
Michelle can be why not have a show where people can join wearing their costumes? That is a good idea. No specific topic, just shoot the shit, as Anton says. Well, if you guys will dress up, we could do something like that.
Is he talking about actually joining the screen?
On Halloween, like bring people on costume.
Like literally like bringing them on the screen?
Yeah, we could do maybe little mini readings, but they've got to come on in costume and get a little reading or something. How about that?
So like coming on and coming off kind of thing?
Yeah, I don't mean stay on all night.
Not staying on. Oh, actually, that's not a bad idea. That's actually a really good idea.
Yeah, you can, if you get dressed up.
Yeah, if you get dressed up, you join. Yeah.
It says like the Brady Bunch.
Well, here's the thing, Anton, is you have to get the light in your face. You can't be like this the whole time.
Yeah, the challenge is Anton's got to come on. Iowa X has got to get dressed up and come on.
And that means showing your face with the light on your face, not he had that light like this and his head like this the whole time, you know?
If we're going to do it, then Iowa X, and particularly Iowa X, because he put the challenge down, has got to get dressed up as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I definitely. We got to have several for this to happen. It can't just be one or two people.
Yeah, so
you got to sign up for the challenge. Okay.
My cam is at the top of my 50-inch.
Okay.
Well, you're gonna have to get your chair higher, then, aren't you?
You're just gonna have to like figure it out. Okay.
Get on a box or something.
I know. No kidding. No kidding.
I was going to read tarot cards from the graveyard. Well, whatever floats your boat, you could do that.
That's good.
He's very good at Vedic astrology, so he's good. Well, both of them are.
That's actually not a bad idea.
You could have a mystic night, and we're all dressed up in fancy dress, bit of fun.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. I'll have to make sure though that I have some sort of like glowy light and do some sort of like woo, you know.
That's a good idea. I can sit in the dark.
Lights and speak in the dark, and I'll like, you know.
You could get just a crystal ball.
Yeah,
that would be weird. A devil with a crystal ball.
Like,
yeah, you would look like a good fortune.
No, people, I'm not drunk or on drugs.
She's sober. I have a confession. I was high and in a mellow mode that night. Oh my gosh, Anton.
Just don't listen to anything he says. He just talks shit.
He better not have been high the night we went live.
Yeah, anyways, you guys.
Yeah, we've got to go. Again. My sinuses again.
Getting silly. And all right, so you guys, y'all have a fabulous evening. We're going to end this right now. And
remember, 31st, you know, if we're getting dressed up, you're getting dressed up.
That's right. That's right. If we're doing this, you're doing this. Okay. So stop the live stream, right? And you guys, good night. Sleep tight. Have a wonderful evening.
She's getting on stage now.
Bye.